to Versus Character Card.
What's up and welcome to Versus Character Cards, the Versus show without the verses. In this series, instead of analyzing two fighters and determining who wins in a battle to the death via research, we are only covering one fighter at a time. Or in this episode's case, 4 fighters who fight as one. We are researching who they are and what they can do in order to determine their overall power. I guess you could consider this a respect thread in video form, or even a versus cheat sheet, as you could use this video as a base for your research in your own show. I repeat, a base for your own research. Don't actually steal this entire video and put it in your episode for your versus show. Believe it or not, that's actually happened before. And be sure to stay tuned after the episode so you can see who we're researching next. As for today though, we are covering the Gorillaz, the biggest virtual band on the planet. For most bands, the music is the entire meal, with the music videos being nothing more than visual accompaniment full of fun and nonsense to go along with the songs when they're played on TV. But for the Gorillaz, it's actually woven into the plot and story of these characters, and they've gotten some interesting abilities and characteristics out of it, so let's dive in and take a look.
The bath! Hey you guys, I'm just gonna take a bath.
The story of how the Gorillaz came to be is a bit crazy, so I'll cut right to the chase. The band was formed by the bassist Murdock after literally selling his soul to become a famous musician. After that happened, all the pieces began falling into place. He crashed his car into a music store, knocking out Stu Potts, who would later become the lead singer 2D. He was kind of forced into it though, as 2D wasn't just knocked out, he was put into a full-on coma, and Murdock was forced to watch him until he got better. Murdock isn't the best babysitter though, and got in yet another car crash which actually snapped 2D out of it, which is why both of his eyes are blacked out. After that, they picked up their drummer Russell Hobbs at a record store, and everything seemed normal at first, but as it turns out, Russell was actually possessed by the ghost of his dead friend Dell. As for the lead guitarist, it was 2D's girlfriend Paula Cracker at first, but after she had a little incident with Murdock, it was clear that that wasn't going to work out. Shortly after that though, a mysterious giant crate showed up on their doorstep, and inside was Noodle, their new guitarist. So kinda weird how that all just worked out, huh? Hey, they're a band now. Now, there's not much this band has in terms of powers, but each member does have their own little quirks and physical characteristics that are unique to them. The lead singer, 2D, is usually a bit clumsy, likely due to all those bonks on the noggin earlier, but he can actually go into a more relaxed, calm, and zen-like state, indicated by his eyes glowing white. There's several fan theories for why this happens, like perhaps he's possessed like Russell, or maybe Murdock's even drugging him, but there's no official answer so far. However, there is a physical change that happens when his eyes are white, so it needed to be noted. As for Murdock, he doesn't really have too much in terms of abilities, he just looks different because he sold his soul and is losing his humanity now that his band is famous. His skin is turning green, his tongue is long like a snake, and he's getting longer and sharper nails. But there's nothing indicating he has special or supernatural powers from this. Noodle is excellent at martial arts and is pretty handy with guns, nothing more to say there, and Russell is where things get interesting. You see, Russell is extremely sensitive to toxic waste and pollution, as when he's taken a couple dips in the ocean, he's grown to an enormous size on multiple occasions. But that's not all. Remember, he's possessed by the ghost of his dead friend, and sometimes Dell the Ghost Rapper will take over Russell's body and show his power. Dell can change the weather, possess objects, cause earthquakes, change the environment, revive the dead, all this while remaining completely intangible. He does have a weakness though, and the weakness is Russell himself. Dell is only able to emerge when Russell is completely unconscious. Wake Russell up and Dell goes back inside. The Gorillaz do have many more trump cards though when Dell isn't active, like their many vehicles. There's the 19-2000 Jeep, which can shoot rockets and drive so fast that it can go upside down. There's the Stylo, an extremely fast car that can take a lot of bullets and even turn into a submarine for underwater travel. They have an unnamed spacecraft which can, of course, take them to space. Oh yeah, they can breathe in space apparently. And last but not least, there's the Pagan. This vehicle can open up wormholes and allow the Gorillaz to go wherever they want to, including the Grand Theft Auto world. Yup, I'm not even kidding. Now, Rockstar apparently took down the music video because the Gorillaz didn't pay the rights to use GTA 5 in their video, but trust me, it happened. Besides, they've gone to other places with the Pagan too. As we get to physical feats, Dell is once again the heavy hitter of the group when it comes to raw power. He can control the weather as his mere presence alone created a large thunderstorm, which requires a ton of kinetic energy, at least city level at several megatons of TNT. That isn't to say the rest of the band isn't very strong on their own though, they're plenty tough. Russell, once again, can grow to the size of a building. They've all taken one of their own missiles backfiring on them. They've survived getting thrown around in a spirit house, Murdock survived getting hit by an asteroid on Saturn's rings, and they've all survived a crash landing to Earth. Not that any of those feats matter anyway, since they've all suffered tons of abuse from Dell themselves, so they should logically scale to his power. Now I know what you're thinking, shouldn't they scale to the Powerpuff Girls since Ace from the Gangrene Gang joined their band temporarily while Murdock was in jail? And the answer is no. While Ace joining the Gorillaz is canon to both series, instead of just a fun little non-canon crossover thing, they shouldn't scale because Ace never really physically interacts with the rest of the band in any way. He just kinda stands there playing the bass guitar. So no, the Gorillaz cannot scale to the island-busting and faster-than-light stats of the Powerpuff Girls. Mainly because, at least in terms of speed, they don't need it as they've already done far greater. Remember that spacecraft I mentioned earlier? Well, what if I told you that it can travel to the end of the solar system and back within moments? And that Noodle has deflected lasers while riding it. That is some very casual, massively faster than light stuff right there. This isn't an isolated incident either. They have plenty of other impressive speed feats, like piloting the 19-2000 Jeep, which can go so fast it drives upside down. They've dodged close-range bullets and missiles, and Murdock in 2D even dodged billiard balls from Dell that were traveling so fast that they created after images. So yeah, the Gorillaz aren't just your average band. Stay cautious around these virtual vocalists.
Breakfast.
Oh yeah, I got a real appetite.
Time for the conclusion segment. In conclusion, we need more fan art so this segment will be less boring to look at. Be sure to send your fan art for versus character cards with the hashtag versus character cards on Twitter, or go to my Discord server and put it in the art show channel. Anyways, in conclusion, the Gorillaz are really strong. I have a few matchup ideas for them, but they might be a bit too easy. There's Sonic Underground, which I don't know how strong they are, so it could potentially be a stomp. There's Vocaloid, but they live in a digital realm full of unquantifiable variables, so they're likely subhuman. And then there's the Deadly Six from Sonic Lost World, solely because they're another group of multiple characters around the same power as the Gorillaz. But the Gorillaz are obviously going to stomp that one due to their much superior speed, much wider arsenal, and the fact that they literally use the Deadly Six's weakness for their main thing, music and noise. So if you guys can think of much better matchups for the Gorillaz, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. Now let's see who's next.
Next time on Versus Character Cards, it's